can these people possibly understand what's going on in Washington, D.C.? I talked to the speaker yesterday, and she said to me, I'm not quite sure what they sent over to the Congressional Budget Office to have scored from the Senate. Now, if the Speaker of the House doesn't know, don't be surprised and don't be disturbed that you're not quite sure what's going on. But let me tell you how I look at what's happening in Washington. I'm a single-payer advocate, okay? David Horsey did a cartoon some weeks ago about a little kid saying, wouldn't it be just simpler to do this simple, because people are looking at this complicated chart. And in fact, the most efficient and the most cost-effective way and the most humane way is to give everybody the same set of benefits and all pay for it together and not have to be wondering about... However, in the world in which we live, the President of the United States is building a house of health. And he's saying, I want to get everybody to move into this house of health. And some of you may have remodeled a house or built a house or whatever, and you know that when you're doing that, the arguments start over what should the countertops be made of, and what should the spigots in the bathroom be, and what color should the bedroom walls be, and what should the paneling be, and so forth. Most of the arguments that you are watching right now are about the question of the countertops and all that kind of stuff. What the president is succeeding in doing, and we are going to get a bill. No matter what you hear, oh, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. It is not dead. The reason it's not dead is very simple. Because business wants a change, labor wants a change, medicine wants a change, and there are 45 or 50 million people in this country who have nothing. And the other 100 or 250 million are not really satisfied with the way it's working. So there's going to be a change come out of the Senate, and it will ultimately go to a conference committee between the House and Senate, and it will probably occur sometime after the first of the year. And I think by 1st of February or so, we will have a bill. Now, people say, well, how are you going to do it? Well, there's a lot of different ways we can work out, but let's just take the one that the Senate just suggested. Let's take everybody from the age of 65 down to 55 and put them into Medicare. Not a bad idea. That's exactly what John Conyers' Medicare for All bill is all about. That's a way to get everybody into the same system. There are other ways to do it, but the fact is that we have to get everybody in, which is the first step in the bill that the president's put together. The reason you want everybody in, then everybody has a stake in it, everybody has skin in the game, everybody cares what's happening. Most of the plans in the past have been, well, this healthcare reform stuff is about them, right? People thought it was about somebody else, not about them. I have my health insurance through my employment. I don't have to worry, right? I have it through my labor union. I don't have to worry. And suddenly we had what happened in the fall of 2008, and the banking industry went in the tank, and the economy went in the tank, and we've laid off 7 million workers in this country, all of whom had health care one day, and the next day had nothing. And suddenly people woke up and said, you know something? This is about me. It's about us. And what's really exciting about what's going on right now is with the president figuring out how to get everybody in, we suddenly come back to a concept that you and I know has got to be there if this society is going to work. And that's the concept of the common good. It can't be about what's good for me and I don't care about all the rest of you. We have to look at each other and say, we're all in this together, and we're going to make this thing work. Now, I I already said at one event recently, I'm going to run again next year because I'm going to be there. When we get the house up, we're going to get the shell up. We're laying the footings right now. We're putting the shell up. And then when we get to figuring out the actual details before it all comes into effect in 2012, I want to be there to make sure that it's fair, that it works for everybody. It's easy to think of a bill that'll work for some people up here and forget about these folks down here. We've done that too much in this society. That